Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dynamite channel. I'm Chipper,
I'm Romina.
And I'm Dan.
and today after following a brief repose, we're covering episodes 5 and 6 of Sakamoto Days. Uh, are y'all ready? I guess we can just start with the breakdown. We're talking about it was Lou and Obiguro, and
Mhm.
then let's talk about that fight first.
Okay.
So Lou was inebriated, but then still seemed to be able to hold her own.
Now, did they say what Lou had to drink? I can't recall.
What would you assume?
I would assume it wasn't juice. It had to be either like some type of old alcohol or some type of elixir.
like yeah, I mean I kind of assumed that it was some kind of like choshu or shochu or something
Yeah.
like you have any, you have any idea what she was
No, I
drinking?
do not.
Whatever it was, it had her right.
Mhm.
But like in the midst of her inebriation, she was still able to
Mhm.
fight back and really, I think, impressed Obiguro, right? Like
Mhm.
Yes.
yeah. So while that was going on, we had Sakamoto versus Boiled, and Sakamoto had like turned into his smaller self.
Mhm.
What y'all think about that? Because we got the cliffhanger from episode 4, and then as he was fighting, yeah,
It's
Well, I was just going. I still don't understand how he actually can do that physically,
mhm,
but the duality of him. We learned when we first learned of him as like, okay, he used to be an assassin, but now he's like a big teddy bear, peaceful man, family
mhm.
man, and then to know that now he could, I guess, willingly go back to that physical and also just emotional state of going back to assassin mode. I thought that was really
Yeah,
cool.
and after the fights, so they both kind of came out of the Boiled fight, and then came out of the the um, Obiguro fight relatively unscathed. But
Mm,
Mhm.
mm.
afterwards, I only found out about the problems with uh, that there was a hit out for
The bounty.
Mhm.
Sakamoto, and then
It's
yeah.
I wonder, like, I know when I was watching that, it seemed like, oh, it was just news to her, but I wonder if she already, because it seems like in a couple of the episodes before that, anytime he would mention anything like, or she would overhear something about, his form, like, oh, are you doing that again, kind of thing. So I was like, maybe she already had suspicion that something was going on.
Or maybe she didn't because of the rule, like the honesty rule, and
Yeah,
she was,
that's a good point.
believing that he would tell her. I
Hmm.
don't think she had think she has more of a problem with the dishonesty over the bounty itself. Might
Yes,
Yes.
be.
because she immediately went to how they would deal with that. But yeah, I think that kind of broke one of the Sakamoto family rules that
Mm.
now, and it's funny, even Lou in her battle with Obiguro, like was kind of changing from her old like mafia mindset
Hmm.
to
Yes.
like starting to adopt some of those values, and you can kind of see her like more integrated into the family.
Yeah, and it all also because of what's at stake with Sakamoto. It seems like that is I don't want to say the inspiration. It's probably a better word, like the source
Mhm,
of his
Mm.
strength.
mhm.
Is
Mm.
like being able, like, oh, I have to do this. I have to protect my family. So he hits like higher levels in his strength
Mm.
when the situation arises, almost like a Super Saiyan would do in
Yeah,
in
in
Dragon
Dragon
Ball.
Ball. Yeah.
But then that goes back to the family rules that now Lou and others are going to are trying to adopt. But
Mhm.
the fact that he really does try to be peaceful first.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
in every situation, he is trying to do this non-lethally, and then he
that's what I
will
was gonna
bring out
say.
the
Yeah.
Super Saiyan only if needed.
Yeah. And then even then he still avoids like
Mm.
Right.
killing the the opponent.
That was always
Oh,
funny.
wait, I probably shouldn't say that on on a YouTube
No, I
here.
mean that was always funny from even from that first episode how like he'll like think about killing Sheen,
Mhm.
but he never actually like kills it. And she can read the mind like, hey man, why you trying to kill me off
Just all
right
the
now?
violence.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty yeah. But from there, and then Boiled kind of had his interaction with the daughter, right? And And then we go into they're trying to introduce the order more of the Dondenkai. They're trying to do the research. They went to the video store, like learned more about it, found out like where it was located. Go there to find Nagumo having murdered the people. So we thought,
Right.
but Nagumo is just an enigma wrapped in a mystery. So it turned out he would just arrived and saw everybody who had been murdered from the Dondenkai headquarters.
I was gonna say, and then every time you think you know him, and it's always something else. Like when he had the scene with the knife, but it was the little fake knife, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or even just like, I mean, when they were trying to get the information from him and everything was a lie,
A lie.
like out of that, or Sheen can't read his mind. It's a really interesting character, right? But then, and that kind of sets us up for the next episode. Was there anything in episode 6 that y'all wanted to explore more? I feel like a lot of it was just giving you a little bit of a peek into maybe like the larger story with the Dondenkai, who's doing this, because we actually did learn like who was behind the murders, right? And then you start seeing the X behind, like like marking that. So that's obviously going to be a precursor for the main antagonist of the show thus far.
We did meet Heisuke
in episode 7.
6.
Yeah, in episode 7. So yeah, just to put a bow on this, but I think it was just that
Well,
introduce.
the last thing I would add to that too is just the coalescing of the team and them getting to know each other a little more, and the way that these fight scenes are happening, where they're actually starting to coordinate more with each other and utilize each other's skills. And Sheen, I guess we learn in later episodes, but Sheen's also kind of learning how to use his skill together with Sakamoto. So that's always fun, and a lot more thought goes into these fights than I'm used to seeing.
So cool. It's so interesting how their different powers, they're kind of combining some of their abilities and making them even stronger.
Yeah, and then I like the fact that they're even though they have these abilities, they're constantly getting tested.
Yeah.
Like just when you think like, oh man, like if he
Oh,
can
yeah,
read
this would
minds,
be
he can
easy.
read anybody's mind. Like, oh nope, can't read his mind.
You find some foils so that he's not just ridiculously overpowered.
Nothing is black and white.
Yeah. Which goes into episode 7 when we're introduced to Heisuke and Pisuke, one of my favorite characters in the show. I feel like Pisuke is underrated. the pigeon.
Was it a parrot or pigeon?
Is he a parrot? I thought he was a pigeon.
He looks like a pigeon.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Maybe
sure he's a
passenger pigeon.
Yeah, man, they've been extinct.
Could be a passenger pigeon.
1913 to 1914. 1914. But yeah, so Heisuke obviously has his own introduction, his lack of success as an assassin, some of his background. He sees the flyer. He tried to come in and take out Sakamoto unsuccessfully. And then we learned about the paintball, which kind of takes over this whole thing because the Heisuke needs money.
And then he still, that's a little later, but he still doesn't get the money. He got some money.
Yeah. He's also maybe not the smartest guy. We find out that, they had very easily fooled him that it wasn't Sakamoto until Lou let the cat out of the bag. And,
that is our boss.
Yeah. But
wasn't she drunk?
Yeah, I think so.
I think she was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see they win the tournament. They win, which there obviously things happen in the tournament, but like the moral of the story then is they use the money to restore the shop,
the location.
Yeah. And
Sakamoto got shot. Like,
that's right.
Yeah.
That was
took a chunk off.
That was interesting. Yeah. Like some of you can see the acumen that Heisuke does have. And that's what's interesting is some of these characters, for all of their flaws, you can see like one really like strong like attribute. Each one
and
of these
even
characters have.
Sakamoto gave him his respect on like him being like the best sniper that he's ever come across.
One thing that was funny for me about that was like we're what 7 episodes into the show now. We've already got 3 or 4 people working at the at Sakamoto, and I was like, if anybody needed the job more than anybody, it was Heisuke.
It's him.
Yeah.
And he's like the one person that's not working there.
I'm like always after each episode now, I'm expecting somebody to get a job.
Yeah. And this plays right into what we know and love about shown there, right? We know about Luffy gathering the members,
Mhm.
or Spy Family having more family members
Or
come in.
even Vegeta becoming allies
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Goku.
all of them.
Mhm.
Piccolo before that,
Yeah,
right?
Piccolo
Like,
before that.
and then maybe even Frieza after
Mm.
that,
Mhm.
to some degree. But it just fits in with the warm feels that we get for collecting the family or whatever. I
Mhm.
think that was interesting. Yeah.
And then I think these episodes, it's been, you know, we've been learning about different parts of the journey, but we're starting to get more information of how it's all connected,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to kind of keep track of like the different stakeholders, the order, and the
Yeah.
different types of assassins. So we're starting to see a larger world and see how it all fits in.
Yeah, and that's something that I feel like is really hard for them to balance in this first batch
Mm.
of 11 episodes. Is there's a lot of world building,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And there is a lot of, okay, this is the grander scale. We're not just stuck in some little slice of life daily operations of the Sakamoto store, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But at the same time, not overloading everyone with like, wait, is this a different person? Does this person even matter? Does this group, who is this group
Mhm.
that's fighting
Yeah.
this group? And
They do a thorough job of giving you the background,
yeah,
I think, on
because
these characters.
and you'll see in future episodes, like even that you're like, wait, okay, so those are assassins, but those are like not with the order. And
Right.
those are
Mhm.
the JAA and all of that. So, but yeah, I thought they touched on that pretty well. Kept a pretty good balance of that. Another thing is talking about balance is the balance that they have of keeping some of the lighthearted banter, like some of the jokes and things
Mhm.
light, with some really deep, like, or like gory,
Mhm.
like things on the other side too. It's a balance of that, right?
And there's also what's the word I'm looking for? Like you don't quite find out what you think you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Each episode
Yeah.
is pushed back, like with the order and different
Yeah.
things like that. It's
Mm.
like still a layer of secrecy that you're like, I thought they were gonna cover that, but
Yeah.
they kept it.
Well, and how can all of these, how can all of these other characters, like that are coming to try to kill him or whatever, they all have their own goals, and
Mhm.
and then by the end of the episode or by the end of their little mini arcs, they
Mini
found a way to
arcs.
coexist
That's good.
with like within the structure of their family, where they're not just coexisting, but they're
Mhm.
actually like allies now
Mhm.
instead of antagonists. Anything else anybody wants to add?
Uh,
No?
You
yeah,
good?
I think it's good.
Good.
All right, good. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all next time for episodes 7, 8, 9. We'll do 7, 8, and 9, and then we'll do 10 and 11. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.